Imagine this. You're out and about when suddenly you hear horses, howling wolves. Your gaze is drawn up, and for a brief moment you see it. Across the heavens we see the passage of the sun and the moon fly above our heads. The sun once every day and the moon every month. It is what gives order to time itself here on earth. Therefore the sun and moon had a special place in the hearts and minds of peoples in times since past. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Where is this from? It is a drawing from the book Myths of the Norsemen from the Eddas and Sagas, written by Helene Adeline Gerber, first published in 1909, and illustrated by, amongst others, John Charles Dollman. Flipping to page 9 we find it, titled The Wolves Pursuing Sol and Mani by J.C. Dollman. The movement of the drawing is incredible, giving the impression that if we had looked but a second later, we would have missed it. To understand the context of what we are looking at, we need to examine the story surrounding the Norse myth of the sun and moon. According to the Norse worldview, after the gods had created the world and assembled the two orbs, sun and moon, to each their own chariot, they looked about as to who was going to ride them. Their gaze was drawn to two beautiful siblings that had been named after the two orbs, the girl Sun and her brother Moon. But the gods disliked that they had been named after the orbs, and so they were made to ride the chariots across the sky, and at great haste because two wolves were set after them. The wolf Skjöll, meaning repulsion, chased Sun, while Hati, meaning hate, chased Moon. A cosmic dance between good and evil, zooming across the heavens every day and every month, a dance that will ultimately end at Ragnarok, the final battle where both the sun and moon will be at last caught by repulsion and hate, casting the world into eternal darkness. The overarching theme here is the concept of Norse fatalism, meaning the Norse belief that everything has already been determined. Furthermore, that the acts of both man and the gods cannot ultimately change the outcome, try as they may. Both Sol and Mani will sooner or later arrive at their predetermined destination. The concept of the sun being drawn by a chariot is a distinctive Indo-European idea, appearing in their own forms in both Norse, Germanic, Roman, Greek as well as even Hindu tradition. This tradition may therefore perhaps date all the way back to 2,000 years before Christ, an astonishingly old tale. Now, with the proper context, we are ready to examine the image itself. The first thing that catches the eye is the top rider in the center of the artwork. Take note of the wheels of the chariot, almost appearing to be on fire, along with the rays of light emitted by the orb behind the rider. All this makes it apparent that this is the rider Sol carrying the sun. Thus, the second rider is to be interpreted as Mani carrying the moon. On the left side of the illustration, we are met with the two larger-than-life wolves, Skjöll and Hati, mouths opened wide, ready to attack and to swallow the rider whole. Both of the two wolves are to some degree here portrayed as semi-translucid, especially the lower. At the back we become hard-pressed to ascertain any clear features of the creature, fading smoothly into what could be seen as a cloud. Dollman made, in his time, quite a few depictions of Norse mythology: the ride of the Valkyries, Frigg spinning the clouds, the Viking foray, but he also made works that would fall under naturalism, depicting scenes from everyday life such as London cab stand, the rising garrison, the immigrant's ship. Perhaps his most famous work may be that of A Very Gallant Gentleman, depicting Lawrence Oates on the last days of the South Pole expedition. In the back we can see the warmth of the tent, while the main character is leant over, instinctively sheltering his vital organs from the cold. Lawrence Oates is seen in this painting, sacrificing himself to the cold to give his comrades a fighting chance of escaping Antarctica. If you like this motif and would like to support our work, please check out our website and get yourself a phone case that reflects one of man's highest works of art in the visual medium. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more content. Write a comment about what you thought. I would love to hear your opinions. Thank you for watching.